hear me? Last time nobody could hear. Okay, great. I want to say that, Viva Benicia and Vallejo and everybody that's here, because thank you. This is amazing. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect such a big turnout, so it really warms my heart that there's so many people that care about what's happening. We've heard stats today. We've heard what's happening at the border. I was going to write a speech, and in fact, I was sitting back there writing some notes, and I just decided that I'm just going to go with my story. I want you to know what an immigrant feels when they come to the United States. I am that immigrant child that at 4 years old made that trip with her parents from Mexico. Okay? My father always told us to feel very proud of who we were, to never forget where we came from, and to love this country that gave us an opportunity, but also know that we contribute back more than people say that we take. Yes, we do. As a child, I remember not speaking English and being put into a classroom with 30 other kids that looked at me like I was some weird person from Mars. I'm not going to use the word alien because that's not in my vocabulary. I don't like that word because we're not aliens. And not knowing how to get along with other kids and just being scared, and at 6 years old becoming the family interpreter and not knowing, what was happening. But I'll tell you two words that every Mexican and Latino child knows when they're a kid. La migra, ICE. We all know it from the moment we start speaking, because you never know when they're going to come take your family member away. I am blessed that when we crossed the border, my father was able to do this legally, but not everybody is. I get questions like, well, why don't they get in line? But where is this line? This magical line, where does it begin and where does it end? What, you stand in line for 20 years and then you're the person that you're petitioning for dies and never got in? Or you stand in line and all of a sudden they change the law, so they put you in another line, another 30 years? There is no line. And when people say get back in line like my folks got in line, I'm sorry, and some people might not like this, but there were no lines back then. The immigration laws were not what they are right now, because many people would not be here if those laws were in place. Now, I, for one, am very tired of the government playing with the immigrants that come from Mexico and Central and South America. We're not their yo-yos. You bring them in the 1930s and 40s. Well, let me go back a little bit. When World War II, there was a recession. Well, now we don't want them here. Okay, because they're the cause of all of this. They were shipping people back. My grandmother was lucky to escape. She was born in Santa Barbara, but she looked what a typical Mexican people think looked like. Then you have the Bracero program. You want them back, okay, because you need them in the fields. So you bring them back in and you spray them with insecticides, like a lot of the people from my hometown got sprayed. Worse than animals, because they were bringing something into the country that apparently wasn't here. Then Operation Wetback in the 70s. We don't want you here again. Go back. Then in 86, we have the amnesty. Oh, now we're going to go ahead and let you work. And now we're here, where we're putting kids in cages, where we're doing harmful things to them and traumatizing them and thinking that it's just going to affect them. Well, I have news for everybody. It will affect them. It will affect them for the rest of their lives. It will affect their family members and those of us that care. But it's also going to affect the ones that don't care. These kids will grow up angry, hurtful, resentful. That's not a good, mentally ill, yes. A lot of things that a lot of kids from the Middle East grow up feeling. So I, for one, think that the United States is a wonderful country. I'm blessed to be here. I'm a U.S. citizen. I've been one for about 30-something years. God bless America, but come on. Start helping other people. We come here to work. We come here for a better life. And what's happening at the border is not right. These kids should not have to pay for any decision that was made by their parents. These are children. I have a 4-year-old grandson. And excuse my language, but I'll be damned if I'm just going to sit back and watch everything fall apart while my little grandson is growing up. So as you know, I'm a talker. I can stand up here all day. I founded the Centro Latino because I saw a need. We have free immigration workshops, naturalization clinics, anti-gang and drug workshops, you name it. We just became a profit a year ago. Everything came out of my pocket and my family's pocket. We weren't taking anything. We were giving back, making people better, making a community better. Then I started a program at both of the Vallejo High Schools. It's called Ser Latino, Service Education Resources Latino. It's at Vallejo High School and Jesse Bethel High School. We work with the kids that don't speak English, that just got here, to bring them up to par so that they can graduate, go on to college or universities, or find adequate jobs and become productive citizens to the United States. Am I taken so far? I'm giving. And I was that immigrant kid with ponytails, scared, like these kids are scared right now. Give them an opportunity. We will never know what their potential is, what they can do. And not only that, but it's the humane thing to do. And I'll close with this. How can you help? What you're doing right now. Unite. Support us. Help people. Know their rights. Stand up when you see an injustice. When someone doesn't speak the language, stand up for them. More than likely they won't, because they're afraid. Some, I have a big mouth, I'm not afraid. But stand with them. Stand with us. United, we are stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia.
My name is Marina Ordóñez, and I am from El Salvador. To the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was big high wall there that tried to stop me. Indigenous people never divided this border. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. One more time. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Yeah.
You are going to be standing understanding and guiding and helping and leading and leaning on you from time to time. Because it's true, you can't be brave and stay safe. You can't love one another without taking a great risk. But there is this fundamental unity that keeps us together as protect those who have come here seeking freedom and a better life, fleeing conditions that are horrible, that require asylum. All of these things we've touched upon this evening. So if you haven't already, I will invite you to turn on that light that you've been given. The light that is representative of the light of freedom, the torch that is held up. The light that shines within each one of us and recognizes the light in others. That shines within each one of us and recognizes the light in others. This has been a vigil, and a vigil is a time of watchful attentiveness. A vigil is a time to keep watch. And we here today are called to keep watch on the freedoms that have been promised to us. We are here to keep watch over one another and to keep watch with one another. I'm going to invite you to sing one more song together. And it's just This Little Light of Mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And take this light with you. Let's go.
I'm ringing in the morning, ringing in the evening, all